Welcome to another edition of the Campbell Wrestling Weekly Weigh-In. I'm Bill Priestley, joined by Coach Cary Kolat. And Coach, you went out west to Reno and had a pretty good performance out there.
Yeah, Bill, we've hit Reno every year since I've gotten to Campbell. I like the tournament in terms of the mix of teams that's there. I think we had overall, with unattached wrestlers and college teams, there was 51 programs represented. So it was a good event for our guys, a mix of styles. We had athletes get 5-6 matches in a day. Against nationally ranked opponents and some really solid college guys.
Got some good results out of that as well. Jerry and Quentin finished second and third in their respective classes.
Yeah, Jerry and Quentin were second. We had two unattached guys. Josh Heil took fourth. Zach Barnes took fifth. Nathan Boston took third. I might be missing somebody in there, but you can't do a complete wrestle back unless you lost in the semis. The best you could do was fifth. So I'd like to see those guys get some more matches in, but they all looked pretty good and pretty solid. We didn't have a champion, and I told the guys at the end, we don't work to come out here and take second. But overall, in terms of our performance, where the season has started and how we performed out there, we definitely kind of upped our game and upped our level of wrestling. Didn't make the mistakes I saw earlier in some of the duels this year. So I was happy with the performance and the progression of the season so far.
Looking ahead now, you've got a couple of matches that are actually 4 matches coming up before you start conference, but 2 big ones coming up with Wilkes and, of course, the Southern Scuffle.
Yeah, so we're going to have a busy time. The guys are on break right now, deserved break. They've been training hard, so they get the little downtime now. When we get back, they'll get back on the 26th. We'll start training on the 27th. We'll hit the Scuffle. We'll come home from the Scuffle, be home about a day, I think. Then we go to Franklin and Marshall. And then we get home again, and then we're heading up to the Virginia Duels. And so it's just bang, bang, bang from there on out.
Looking at that at the event at the Southern Scuffle, obviously it's one that you've been at, and you know that event very well. Now that rivalry has kind of taken on a little bit of a new form with you and Chattanooga. With that, do you see this as more than just an event when you go and scouting out other teams and trying to get some place nationally?
Well, for us, it's a national event. It's getting those rankings up, but obviously anytime you hit somebody in your conference, so App's going to be there, more than likely Gardner Webb, Chattanooga. So I mean, hey, we tell our guys all the time we don't lose to a conference guy, and I'm sure those coaches are telling their guys the same thing. So yeah, that rivalry is going to exist, and obviously we won conference last year, and App won it the year before, but Chattanooga's kind of been the reigning kings of the conference for years, and so we're starting to see a shift, and so they're trying to up their game. They've got a pretty good team this year, and so we're trying to continue to up our game.
Looking at your team this year, how do you feel about your team going into these matches, getting ready for conference and getting your first chance to defend a Southern Conference title?
Well, based on our schedule, the way we lay it out, I think when we hit conference, we should be rested. I think we should just be starting to hit some peak form. That's how we've always set it up. And Virginia Duels is kind of the telltale sign for us that once we get back there, that's when I've always seen the guys make a change. I feel pretty good. I'd rather not be 3-3. I think we could legitimately be 5-1 right now, but that's where we made mistakes early, and I think we tightened it up in Reno, and I think we're going to continue to see it tighten up through the Scuffle and through Virginia Duels and through Franklin and Marshall. So, only time will tell at this point.
You got your Christmas shopping done?
No, not yet. I got to do some today.
So. We're going to take a little bit of a break ourselves for the weekly wrestling weigh-in, and we'll see you, of course, in 2018. For Coach Cary Kolat, I'm Bill Priestley. We'll see you next time.